All right, so this is a house I actually visited and showed to a potential client back in like October, maybe November of 2024. So it's been on the market for a very long time, talking 6 months at least. Shot of the neighborhood here. There are some very nice, well-kept homes nearby. This is asbestos siding, which if in good shape is great, but this particular siding does have several areas in need of repair. Downspout extensions are missing. These are things that I believe VA is going to call out on their appraisal inspection, or could potentially call out. This back deck is in questionable condition. I didn't climb up on it. It doesn't look horrible, so it may pass a test. It does need somebody to look at it though. It has a great yard, corner lot, big yard, big trees, which most people don't like, but some people love. You got this shed back here, which, you see all that peeling paint, or that, missing paint, so to speak. Nice on the inside. VA will consider that peeling paint, and they will require that is painted over, or, in some way repaired before closing could take place. See on the back of that garage, I didn't do much filming of that garage, but there's definitely some funky stuff going on with settling. You can see some stair step cracking there. I didn't get inside the garage though. So this is where I'm like pointing out that there is some of this damaged asbestos. Because it's asbestos, it might be difficult to repair. Some of the guys around here, kind of tuck that stuff away when they're doing a demo. So they've got pieces to repair. But if you can't find that special person, then it's tough to come up with a repair that's acceptable. Another thing VA calls out on the regular are what they call trip hazards. And that's anything that is an inch or more. Usually cracks in the concrete, movement there. You've seen some settlement moving, and we've definitely got a sizable, and that's a separation. So where the concrete cracks are pulling apart. I definitely see this driveway being an issue. Just really big gap, really big trip hazards there. There's another, basically like a hole. That is something that will be called out too. That's a safety item. I thought there was a loose step, so I went back to check it, but I must have been crazy because it was fine. So a lot of these they've got screws in here, but they're popping. Rusted out and starting to pop. You can see some of the timbers there are warping and popping, that is also a safety issue that would be called out on a VA inspection. All right, inside the house. It's cute at first glance. Well, it is cute, but it has some things that are pretty fundamental to a quality house, and it's lacking. And one of those is it's really hard, if not impossible, to catch on film here. But the floors are very slopey. Like there's like little hills and rolls in the flooring because of movement in the foundation. That flexible heat trap is not proper into code. It probably need to be fixed too. This room especially, everything slopes down to the backyard. I mean, you can really feel it when you're walking around and see it. But like I said, it's not going to show up in this film, unfortunately. I kept waiting to find a door that wasn't going to close square. Because I'll tell you, see right here, this cracking? That wasn't there 6 months ago. So this house is continuing to move. So I expected to find these doors not shutting correctly, but they were fine. It does have the old wood windows. There are storms. I'm sure there's missing inserts. And then there's this little cabinet in the hallway where you've got your stack. I'm running out through the roof. It's kind of odd, hanging out there in your cabinet. The kitchen is great. I am so sad to see that this house has issues with this great looking kitchen, right? Solid surface countertop, stone, stainless steel appliances, tile backsplash. The drawers even have the dovetail joints, soft close. Cabinets are also soft close. Deep sink, love that. Plumbing down here looks like maybe there's been some issues in the past. I don't know, I found this really weird, like, whatever that is. But I did get in there and kind of wiggle it around a little bit. I expected to find maybe some loose plumbing, but everything was pretty tight. Got a little creative here with the faucet. Taking a notch out of the windowsill. Heading down to the basement now. So you've got tile floors, some can lights in the ceiling. The ceiling is not a standard height, but it's high enough. I'm very comfortable down there. I'm 5'5". I don't know if a 6-foot person would be very comfortable, but there's this side room here. I can't really call it a bedroom. It does not have an egress window or a window of any sort. But remember, I said I was in here 6 months ago. And I'm telling you, when I was in here 6 months ago, there was not this either. Just more evidence that this house is continuing to move. Here in the corner, this broken tile could be due to movement. It could also be due to a poor tile installation. If you don't leave some room for expansion around these tiles, they're going to expand and crack and pop. So that might be what's going on there, or it could be due to the settling of the home. This is where we've got some exposed brick walls, so we're going to get to kind of see a little bit of what's going on here. Do you see the bow in that wall? I mean, the 2x4 that's framing that there's a bathroom on the other side is literally bowed to get it to be flat up against the wall. And right there, you've got like movement. The two of the CMU blocks have actually, slid. Stair step cracking. And you've just got a real solid even crack through the middle where it's starting to bow. Previous repairs have been done. Many of these are filled with caulking that has now separated again. Some water stains there too, so you'd imagine when we get a lot of rain, groundwater, I expect you'll see some of that come in through these cracks. There's another bow up there where that dryer vent goes out. Another, slippage in the CMU block, and a big crack there. Bowed wall. Look at that bow. Looks like I have a fisheye lens on my camera, but that is a bowed wall. I took a good look at the floor joists and tried to see if there was any issues there. There is one of them that's sistered for some reason, but that one there. But it actually, they actually look fine. Actually, I didn't see anything in particular. I'm not an expert by any means, but you do have cast iron, so cast iron sewer. Likely runs into tile at some point outside of the home. Where I just kind of pointed, that's like a hump. So that'd be like the rise of the hump. If I could put a ball on there, you'd see the ball run into both of the sides. There's a rise of hump. Now, this wasn't there either when I was here 6 months ago. That, I believe, is the remnants of water intrusion. There you go again with that bowed wall. We were looking at that on the other side when we first walked into the laundry room. Here's some additional exposed brick that we can get because they build that wall out to finish that bathroom, and you can see these cracks again. They're even on this wall. Pretty significant damage there. Tile shower. Nothing stood out to me as being a problem there. There you go. Let me know what you think.